When life presses on you from every angle, when doors seem to close and your prayers appear unanswered, when the nights stretch endlessly and your strength seems depleted, remember this moment, for this is where God begins to work. You might not see it just yet, and you may not understand how, but God is about to reveal His supernatural power in your life. The very same power that raised the sun this morning, that commands the oceans and the stars, is getting ready to change the circumstances surrounding you. What seems impossible to humans is the perfect setup for God to show His glory. There comes a moment in every life when human strength falls short, and that is when God chooses to show that He alone is in control. God's power is not confined by logic, time, or reason. He does not act according to your schedule or comfort. He moves in accordance with His divine plan, and when He moves, no obstacle can remain standing. Every mountain shakes before His word. Every closed door opens when His hand touches it. Every battle that has worn you down will turn into a testimony of His strength. You may feel like you're running out of time, but God is never late. You might believe your best days are behind you, but He is preparing to bring forth something so remarkable that it will silence your doubts and confound your enemies. God is about to prove that no force on earth can stop what He has in store for you. You've prayed, you've wept, you've waited, and now heaven has heard your cry. God is telling your heart, be still. I am working behind the scenes. Every tear you've shed has watered the ground of your breakthrough. Every painful season was preparing you for something greater. God never wastes your suffering. What you thought was a delay was divine positioning. The things that were taken from you, the opportunities that slipped away, the people who left God allowed it all so that His power could be displayed at the right time. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are standing at the brink of something miraculous. There is a supernatural power that moves when human understanding fails. It is the power that parts seas, that brings light out of darkness, that transforms dust into light. And that power is about to visit your life. God specializes in impossible situations because they display His greatness. He is not impressed by human strength or achievements. He is drawn to faith, the kind of faith that holds firm when everything seems lost. If you can believe when it all seems senseless, if you can trust when the evidence points elsewhere, then you are in the perfect place for a miracle. God's power is not a theory. It is a living reality that transforms everything it touches. Some of you have been in a long waiting season. You've been faithful yet unseen. You've been giving yet overlooked. You've been patient yet weary. But God has been observing your perseverance. And just when you thought nothing was changing, He has been aligning every detail for your divine moment. God operates in silence because His power is revealed in the unexpected. When He acts, it won't be gradual, it will be miraculous. What took years to break will change in an instant. What was lost will be restored in abundance. God's timing may be hard to comprehend, but when His power is revealed, it will give purpose to every trial you faced. Don't be shocked if the pressure builds before the breakthrough. When God is about to act, resistance always intensifies. This isn't a sign of failure. It's proof that your blessing is near. Darkness always fights hardest just before the dawn. So, when everything appears to be crumbling, cling tighter to your faith, because God's power is on the verge of being revealed. The same power that lifted Joseph from the pit to the palace, that brought David from the field to the throne, that turned Daniel's trial into victory, is still alive and active today. God has not changed. What He did before, He can do again. His power does not fade. It simply waits for the right heart of faith to unlock it. Faith is the key that releases divine power. When you believe beyond what your eyes perceive, you invite the supernatural into your world. God does not move through fear. He moves through faith. If you wish to witness His power, you must refuse to be governed by your emotions. Emotions fluctuate, but faith stays constant. You may feel weak, but your faith proclaims, God is my strength. You may feel lost, but your faith assures, God will lead me. You may feel forgotten, but your faith murmurs, God still remembers me. Every time you choose faith over fear, heaven responds. God's power flows through those who trust Him, not because they are perfect, but because they fully rely on Him. God's supernatural power is not confined to a specific kind of miracle. It can heal whatever is broken in your body, mind, relationships, or purpose. There is no area of your life that His power cannot touch. Some of you have been carrying burdens too heavy to bear. You've been fighting unseen battles. But God knows, and He's about to step in. The weight that's been crushing you is soon to be lifted. The storm that's been raging is nearing its end. You will not leave this season empty-handed. God's power is about to restore everything the enemy tried to take from you. When God demonstrates His power, it's not subtle, it's unmistakable. You won't need to explain it. You won't need to convince anyone. The evidence will speak for itself. Those who doubted you will witness what only God could do. Those who overlooked you will realize that favor doesn't come from humans, it comes from heaven. You are about to become a living testimony of divine power. The same people who saw you struggle will witness your rise. And when they ask how it happened, you'll know it wasn't by your might nor your wisdom, but by God's power alone. Don't let fear cripple your faith. Fear is the enemy's tool to prevent you from stepping into what God has already prepared. But when you confront fear with faith, something shifts in the spiritual realm. God's power begins to move. The walls that once held you captive start to fall. The road that appeared impossible begins to open up. Fear may roar, but it cannot defeat faith. Every time you choose to stand strong, even while trembling, you declare that your trust is not in your situation, it is in God. And when God sees this kind of faith, He releases power that no earthly force can overcome. You may not realize it, but the pain you've gone through has been preparing you for the strength that's about to come. God never allows pressure without purpose. Every tear, every letdown, every delay was shaping your spirit to bear greater glory. Had He blessed you sooner, you might not have been able to sustain it. But now, after all you've endured, your faith has been refined, your heart has been strengthened, you've been shaped into someone capable of handling what's coming. The next move of God in your life will not just bless you, it will bless others through you. His supernatural power isn't just for show, it's for destiny. There will be times when you'll feel like quitting. The burden will seem unbearable. But remember, the closer you are to the breakthrough, the stronger the pressure will feel. God's power often comes after you've reached the end of yourself, when you can no longer do it on your own. That's when He steps in. His strength is perfected in your weakness. The situation that seems like it will destroy you is the very thing that will reveal His power in your life. So hold on, keep standing, keep believing. God hasn't brought you this far to leave you. He's setting the stage for something incredible. Sometimes God allows you to walk through fire not to harm you, but to show others that you can't be consumed when He is with you. You may be surrounded by struggles, but you are also surrounded by divine power. Every step you take in faith is a declaration that you are not moved by what you see. The world may say it's over, but God says, I'm just beginning. His power isn't bound by natural law. He doesn't need permission to work a miracle. He speaks, and creation obeys. And that very power is about to speak into your situation. When God demonstrates His power, it brings divine order. Those who overlooked you will realize that favor doesn't come from humans, it comes from heaven. You are about to become a living testimony of divine power. The same people who saw you struggle will witness your rise. And when they ask how it happened, you'll know it wasn't by your might nor your wisdom, but by God's power alone. Don't let fear cripple your faith. Fear is the enemy's tool to prevent you from stepping into what God has already prepared. You need to prepare your heart for what God is about to do. Expect Him to move. Speak life into your situation. Declare that something good is on the way. Faith isn't passive, it's an active expectation. The moment you begin expecting God to act, heaven begins to respond. Your words are seeds. Speak with faith, and you will see His power unfold. Doubt delays what faith can hasten. So keep your heart steady. Let your words be full of faith, and keep your focus on God. Things that were in chaos suddenly fall into place. Those who were against you begin to change their hearts. Opportunities that seemed dead are revived. That's the power of divine intervention. One moment of God's favor can erase years of hardship. One act of His power can achieve what human effort never could. You may have tried everything, but when God steps in, everything changes. His power makes the impossible possible, the broken whole, the hopeless triumphant. You won't just see His hand, but you will feel His heart. There's a reason your battle has been fierce. The enemy always targets what God intends to bless. The greater the calling, the greater the conflict. But no attack can overpower divine authority. Every plan formed against you will fail.